Hello everyone, my name is Robert, but you can call me Angela Murkrow, and to celebrate my recent birthday, we're having a quick birthday party, we're celebrating with balloons, and we're going to cover the Pyrotechnic. Blacephalon is available in either version of the game, however, if you're playing offline, then you will need to complete Peony's 3 legendary clues before it can be encountered. Or, if you play online, eventually a random adventure will get you there. As a fire ghost type Pokemon, Blacephalon is weak to water, rock, ground, ghost, and dark type attacks, resists grass, fire, ice, bug, poison, and steel type attacks, and Blacephalon is immune to normal and fighting types. Like all other Ultra Beasts, Blacephalon has the ability Beast Boost. If it knocks out you or an ally, then Blacephalon will get a boost to its best stat. With a base stat of 151, its special attack will likely get this boost. However, there will be fringe cases when its attack will get a boost instead. While we're looking at stats, it should be fairly obvious that this is an incredibly frail Pokemon. Physical water, rock, ground, ghost, and dark type attacks are preferred and are widely distributed among rental Pokemon. But special attackers with type coverage can still deal a massive amount of damage as well, considering Blacephalon's special defense isn't that much better. Blacephalon's base speed of 107 should be noted as well. Assuming neutral natures and 31 IVs in speed, then Hawlucha will barely be able to outspeed a Blacephalon. Unfortunately for us, Hawlucha is the 10th fastest rental Pokemon available in Dynamax Adventures, and only 4 of the remaining 9 offer much substance. So we know that Blacephalon can hit hard and hit fast. So what will it hit us with? Well, Blacephalon is one of the legendary Pokemon in Dynamax Adventures that can use up to 5 moves plus their max move counterparts. However, Blacephalon will only know the first 4 moves listed when caught: Shadow Claw, Taunt, Fire Blast, Zen Headbutt, and Mystical Fire. On the physical side, we have Shadow Claw and Zen Headbutt, then Mystical Fire, Fire Blast on the special side, with Taunt thrown in for fun. A base 127 physical attack stat is one thing, but when paired with moves with a base power of 70 and 80, you and your team should have some room to breathe. As long as you're not weak to either Psychic or Ghost, even a Pokemon with mediocre bulk could endure a hit. However, 151 special attack is something to be concerned about. After applying the same type attack bonus, even Mystical Fire can be intimidating, and an accurate Fire Blast will likely knock you out in one hit. And we're going to blow past Taunt, because you're rarely going to need to set up on Blacephalon. So what do you need against Blacephalon? Just type advantage. Honestly, aiming for a Pokemon on my top 10 list for damage output would almost be overkill, when you could easily take down Blacephalon with 2 or 3 mediocre Pokemon with a super effective move. But for those who want to try and one-shot this Ultra Beast, then let's get you that top 10 list. If you'd like to know how I got these numbers, then you can check out the description of this video for my guidelines and a link to the Pokemon damage calculator. And while you're down there, I would really appreciate if you hit that like button and subscribe so you can catch more of these videos. So, the top 10 list is a little murky this time around. There's a long line of Pokemon that could put a dent in this Ultra Beast. 6 Pokemon were omitted due to some conditional elements, and even then I technically ended up with a top 12. There are 3 Pokemon tied for 10th place: Politoed, Pangoro, and Barbaracle, each capable of dealing 228 to 270 points of damage. If I were to choose one for the official 10th place spot, then I would choose Politoed. Barbaracle and Pangoro are still decent options. Don't feel like you need to upgrade them if you have one or the other. But Politoed's ability Drizzle can help make other water Pokemon and Weather Ball users more viable. In 9th, we have Boldore. Stone Edge can deal up to 276 points of damage, just remember it's not the most accurate move. Pelipper comes in 8th place, again, same thing as Politoed. Other water type attackers will get a boost. Don't forget that Blacephalon's fire type moves will do less damage in the rain, and rain enables Weather Ball Pokemon, like Pelipper's Weather Ball, which can deal 236 to 278 points of damage. Next we have Red Stripe Basculin. Now both Basculin forms only have a base 92 attack stat. It's not stellar, but paired with its ability, Adaptability, that makes Red Stripe's Liquidation deal 236 to 280 points of damage. Blue Stripe, on the other hand, has to rely on either Scald or Dive. Even with Adaptability, a base 80 special attack doesn't quite cut it here. You're looking at a damage range between 148 to 176 points of damage, and Dive isn't the best alternative. A damage range of 224 to 264 isn't that impressive when it's over the course of 2 turns. But don't stress about losing a game of Who's That Pokemon. Either form will do, especially if it's the one Dynamaxing. So far, only 10 points of damage have separated 10th place and Basculin in 7th. However, we have a little bit of a jump here to Lycanroc. Well, both forms of Lycanroc. Tied for 5th, these two Pokemon can each deal 252 to 296 POD. What sets these two dogs apart, however, is their accuracy with Stone Edge. Midday has to worry about inaccurate Stone Edges, while Lycanroc Midnight can rest easy due to its No Guard ability. If you're unfamiliar with No Guard, this ability guarantees that all of your attacks will hit the target. However, any moves that target you will have perfect accuracy as well. But don't worry about that second bit. You'll be fine. Maybe. Crawdaunt comes in 4th with its adaptability boosted Lash Out. This will deal 264 to 312 points of damage, and maybe, if you're lucky, you'll get targeted by Mystical Fire for a free boost to Lash Out. We're skipping 3rd because we have a tie for 2nd. There's one that would be excellent to Dynamax against Blacephalon, and one that would be worse if you Dynamax. But undynamaxed, Kingler and Thievul can both deal 278 to 330 points of damage. So why should one Dynamax and not the other? Because Thievul would much rather use Foul Play over Max Darkness. If you use Max Darkness, Thievul will use its base 58 attack stat. If you use Foul Play, then you can use Blacephalon's 127 attack stat. Kingler though? Kingler can almost one-shot without Dynamax. If you can plan ahead and ensure your team's Kingler can Dynamax, then you're almost certainly going to one-shot. And finally, first place goes to Relicanth. You may think, 90 base attack? How can this crusty fish deal the most damage? Okay, well sometimes it's not about the base stat, but more about the move's power. And because of Head Smash's base power of 150, Relicanth can deal 306 to 362 points of damage. Quickly, I would like to mention Pokemon that can situationally deal more damage than the Pokemon in the top 10. The first Pokemon could theoretically deal the most amount of damage against Blacephalon. In order to deal 400 points of damage, Tyrantrum would need Rock Blast to hit all 5 times, not including critical hits and assuming all damage rolls were perfect. Or you could only hit twice with terrible damage rolls and deal a minimum of 132 points of damage. Below Tyrantrum and barely sitting above Relicanth is Sharpedo. For Sharpedo to deal 312 to 368 points of damage, then you're going to need a Pokemon faster than it. Sharpedo's Assurance generally only has a base power of 60, but if the target was damaged previously that turn, then that move's power is doubled to 120. So what Pokemon can outspeed Sharpedo? Pokemon like Jolteon, Bolton, the Kanto form of Victrio, and Hawlucha all typically outspeed Sharpedo, and each have a decent offensive option for Blacephalon. Now you may be thinking, but what about Sharpedo's speed boost? That's a valid point. Sharpedo would likely outspeed most other Pokemon by turn 2, but if Blacephalon is still standing at the start of turn 2 after a boosted Assurance, then at that point Aqua Jet should get the job done. But speaking of Aqua Jet, priority moves pair nicely with teammates with Assurance. Barraskewda is another excellent example of both. If Barraskewda is your priority Pokemon, then this can help the other Assurance Pokemon like Liepard, Tauros, and Alolan Persian. Or, if you're feeling risky, Scyther, Skarmory, and Dracloak. But if you want to take the priority route, then this can greatly increase the viability of Azumarill, Golduck, Skuntank, Kangaskhan, Talonflame, and even Comfey. Or, if you're confident enough, Maractus, Gourgeist, Alolan Dugtrio, Dusclops, and even Pileswine can make acceptable sacrificial leads. Clefable, Behem, and Colossus are all fine options. Meteor Beam will boost each of their special attack stats by 1, but then you have to wait for the next turn to use it. Blacephalon is easily a one-turn adventure, but not all of them are going to end that quickly, so sometimes one of these will be your best option. Otherwise, just pick up whatever Pokemon has a stab super effective move. Some of these just fall short of the top 10 list, like Rhydon, Sudowoodo, Crocodile, Cantonian Dugtrio, and Diggersby. There are some Pokemon that would make great offensive options, but might have to be prepared for a super effective attack from Blacephalon. Nidoking offers a powerful high horsepower with a damage range of 216 to 254, but are you willing to risk being targeted by a Zen Headbutt? Or worse, a Max Mindstorm? Likewise, Golurk's combination of Iron Fist and Shadow Punch would be a worthy addition to the team, but Do you want to risk that Shadow Claw or that Max Phantasm? But then you have some even riskier picks, like Alolan Dugtrio, Bisharp, Galarian Stunfisk. All three carry a weakness to Fire-type moves, and with both Mystical Fire and Fire Blast to worry about, that's something that will have to be dealt with in the moment. Does your team have any better options? Do you still have most of your lives left? Do you just like living life on the edge? Making a quick stop at utility, if you're worried about Beast Boost, then Weezing, Credilli, and Cofagrigus make decent options. Cofagrigus is a little more situational and requires contact from Blacephalon. Credilli can just outright suppress the ability with Gastro Acid. And if you're using Cantonian Weezing, please keep in mind what Pokemon your teammates are using. There's plenty of Pokemon that want their abilities in Dynamax Adventures. Pelipper and Politoed do not want to be paired with Weezing. Neutralizing Gas could also take away a fire immunity from Flareon and Carkol due to their ability Flash Fire, or Pokemon like Stoutland and Exploud who require their ability Scrappy to deal damage against ghost types. As far as dishonorable mentions go, excessive frailty should be avoided. We're talking a Scavalier, Abomasnow, Durant, Alolan Sandslash, and Frostmoth. Each Pokemon would quickly go up in smoke against any fire-type attack. Speaking of weak to fire, Pokemon with abilities Dry Skin and Fluffy each gain a weakness to fire, making Heliolisk, Jinx, and Dubwool unappealing options. A quick note about the Dene and Araquanid: Entrainment doesn't work against Dynamax Pokemon. Look elsewhere for ability suppression, and because I highlight them when useful and necessary in previous videos, it's worth noting that Wide Guard has no use here. All of Blacephalon's moves affect a single target. If you pick up one of these 5, choose a different move. But put simply, know your type matchups. 3 subpar Pokemon can be just as good as 1 Pokemon in the top 10, and use proper risk assessment. Keep this in mind and you can find yourself regularly taking down Blacephalon in a single turn cycle. Thank you so much for watching the video. My apologies for the time away. Over the past couple of months, I've shifted my attention over to Twitch. Now that I've found some footing over there, I plan on producing more of these guides. Don't forget to follow and subscribe, and come play some Dynamax Adventures with me over on twitch.tv/AngelaMurkrow. My name is Robert, but you can call me Angela Murkrow, and I'll catch you next time.